Are you ready? Yeah, we're live now. You ready,
Hey, babe.
Chris?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So today, March 17th, 2021, it's St. Patrick's Day. I got my green shirt on, and I got Jameson here, and I'm joined by Sell the Fucking Rip Trader Chris.
What's up? No green.
All right, all good. And today I wanted to introduce. This is going to be a new thing we're doing. I'm introducing a new Spotify playlist to go with the show. So the link is in the description of the video. And what I'm asking for people to do is check it out, put it on in the background while you watch the show or while you are doing your own trading homework. I've already curated it all. This is like upbeat, danceable groove kind of stuff. It's pretty modern. And if it's not your thing, then that's okay. We can feature some other playlists sometime too. So drop in the comments if you have a favorite list, and maybe we'll give it a shout out. One other thing I want to introduce. This was new to me. I just came to learn of. I'll be washing down my Jameson tonight with this. This is a Monaco cocktail, and it's 9% alcohol. It's called Blue Crush, a premium mixed drink made with vodka, gin, rum, tequila, and blue Caraco liquor. Jeez, what a mouthful. It looked pretty good. They were featuring it at the liquor store when I was in there the other day. So some of the stocks we'll be talking about today is there's some news about a merger with AFA and Tilray. So I wanted to talk about that. I didn't put it in the description about Tesla, but I want to talk about Tesla also. And also we're going to talk through RIOT blockchain. There's a lot going on there with that. That's looking really strong. I see a base forming. It could break out really any time. And Chris and I are using, we're off of the Zoom. We're on a Google Meet this time, and hopefully we'll have better luck. Zoom wasn't working so well. We had some people crashing our stream the other day. That was kind of awkward, unfortunate. So, anyway, where do you want to start, Chris? I'm going to start with a shot, but what else? Should we talk about RIOT first?
Sure.
All right. Well, so this stock is strong. It's one of the strongest stocks. I mean, I would say the strongest two in the whole market right now is RIOT and GameStop. Now, I might run a screen later to actually figure out what other things are really strong. I know there's some Chinese stocks that are ripping. FUTU, and I mean the market's just not going down. We saw a big tech shakeout, but it never spilled over into anything else. So it just I'm already loaded back up with longs, and they're a little different than what I had before. But the other thing about tonight is we're heading into Wednesday trading, and one thing that I like to do on 2 days out before expiration is put on really short-dated bull call spreads on things that look like they could rip, if you can get them priced right. So we'll look at some bull call spreads in RIOT. What do you say we start there?
Sure.
So you want to talk about levels, Chris? Let's talk through some levels on this one.
Let me go. Well, it's the volatility's only been over the past couple of months, so let me shorten my time frame here.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be sipping this shot. I'm not gonna be shooting shots here on a weeknight, man. I don't do that.
I can't even see you. All right, so we broke above on the 12th ish around the 12th around. No, I'm sorry, the 15th around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We broke through or topped out from that gap down rather, from the
so that filled
22nd of February, and we back tested to a support, more of a support than a resistance level here, and now we're starting to come back off of that. So I would say the trend is strong. Throwing a fib on.
So last time that we met, Chris, if you remember, it was kind of near the peak, the recent peak. And I looked at a few bull call spreads that were paying 4 to 1, 5-1, potentially, at max profit. If it went back up to the top of that range, and I was pretty uninterested with them at those at that time because the stock needed time to base. I just thought it was too soon. But now with less time to go, you could get a lot more punch if it continues to rally. Even if it just goes back up to the top of the range, now you could probably get a lot better prices on it.
I'm looking for 72.25. And I'm looking for that around the 19th. What is today?
Today is March 17th. We got 2 days till the March 19th? No. Is today the... 19th. Yeah, today's the 17th.
Yeah, I'm looking for the 19th. And let me throw one more on here. Just to make sure I'm not talking out of my other hole. Yeah, the 19th. See how that lines up twice at the 200?
Okay, yeah. So you're looking at what?
72.25 on the 19th. About
225 on the 19th. So what price target are you looking at on the 19th?
72.25.
72.25.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So it's at what, 665 now?
I will do this. Give me a second.
Now, do you think it'll overshoot and fade back?
Will it wick? I don't know. I do not know if it'll wick it. It might. Always trade like it's gonna.
Yeah.
You never lost money taking profits, right?
So let's get an options chain open and look at what we can do based around that 72 level.
All right, so we're looking at the 29th. That'll be April 1st, right? No,
I'm looking at the 19th.
19th. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I would go out one more week to give yourself some protection.
Oh no, I'm trying to. These are throwaways.
Oh, okay. So you're doing zero or hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hero or zeros.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 72.
Real small, trading real small size.
So
those are ask 131 right now on the 72s.
I probably try to get filled in the morning, depending on how it goes overnight. Maybe below.
Here's what I'm looking at, Chris. I'm looking at the 65. It's at 65, right? I don't know what Bitcoin's doing right now, but if we buy like say a 66 and we sell like a 75 because we don't think it's going to get there, or even a 72, sell that.
Oh, looking for a spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we got 2 days to go. If we had 1 day to go, I wouldn't even bother trying to sell one.
Right.
But the implied volatility is really high. So the way to get a lot of bang for the buck without overpaying is you sell out at where the top end is.
Right.
So here, let me throw it in the combo builder real quick and see what that looks like. I don't know if that's any good or not. And tomorrow, I expect that, like, unless this thing's gapping up, these prices are going to be cheaper. That's what I'm counting on. All right. Are you able to see this or not?
I'm sorry.
What I'm doing? I did a buy of a 65 and a sell of a 72.
I am very sorry. Let me put on YouTube. I actually right before you and I started started doing this. I was chatting a little bit with Detective Serpico. You remember the movie Serpico?
Oh yeah, dude, I love that movie. I just rewatched it with my sons. So they saw that movie for the first time. They had heard me talking about it for years. I'm a huge fan.
You can follow him on Twitter.
I already follow him on Twitter.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he and I were having a little chit chat, very very short, because I said something along the lines of using the word terrorism and it's offensive to veterans who are, you know, in the sandbox, yada yada yada. And all right, I muted it. So on and so forth. And he challenged me, and I challenged him back. And this isn't Serpico now. This is some guy named Stephen Lee. He's a candidate for New York something or another, and we just got into it because he threw out that word terrorism in regards to the spa shooting. And I
Yeah.
said, what I pretty much said was, you know, using that word diminishes the meaning of the word terrorism.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, he and I got into it a little bit, but I was just checking to see if he back. I told him I was in the middle of a podcast and don't mind me if I don't answer, but sorry. In other words, I had my head turned. Long story to tell you that I had my head turned. So, all right, where are we?
So yeah, like here's what I'm looking at. If you think the max range on this is 72, then what
Yes.
we could do is, if we're making this a throwaway, we could go in at the 72, right? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Although you're not going to knock much price off by trying to sell one short against it. And
Well,
then
that's a
if it
lot of
really
premium.
rips, then you're making a lot of money. The other thing you could do, you could build a combo so that if it really rips, you could do something like this. What I did, Chris, I put on a combo, buy the 72, 75, and 78. And so that's looking like it's costing $250 a combo right now.
What are you doing?
Uh,
Buying the 72 and what?
I'm buying the 72, 75, and 78. And because I think these are
Oh,
going to be cheap enough tomorrow. If Riot's not gapping up, let's check and see what the cryptos are doing tonight.
right.
But here's what I'm seeing. Like, if this thing really, really breaks out, then you're making a lot of money fast on these. And by the way, like, I would not try to hold till expiration if I get a gap up rip.
Yeah. Well, the best time to have entered this trade would have been on the close, depending
Well,
on
no,
your trader.
I don't think so, because things ripped so hard today that I just don't see it gapping up again overnight. But it could. I'm heading over to check the cryptos right now on FinViz. Let's see what they're doing tonight. Let me throw it
Right.
up on the
Well,
screen.
we're actually gonna find out here shortly what they're doing because the futures are up. You know, if rising tide lifts all boats, futures are up pretty good for it being 10 o'clock. They're holding. They're
Yeah.
not. They're
Well,
not
and a lot of the market advance overall happens overnight.
right.
It's just one of those weird phenomenons. I mean, people have studied it quite a bit. I don't know why I can't get the cryptos to load on FinViz. See, that's how much of a crypto rookie I am. Like, I go look on FinViz for my crypto news. FinViz is
I
just
don't
showing
watch
me ads.
crypto.
It's like not even working.
I don't watch crypto at all. Don't know nothing about it. I just know that they're tickers and they have levels.
Yeah, well, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this show, though, right? We're trying to grow and expand our horizons and learn new stuff. Okay, yeah, that window was just stalled out. Here we go. I
I
got a
just
window. I'm
don't.
throwing it up. Let's
My
see.
thing is, I don't understand it. I don't pretend to understand it. I go with what I know. And it's to expand horizons, but you have to believe in what you're expanding your horizon into. Since
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
I,
do
I
the
agree
crypto,
100%. I mean, a good way to get hurt is to get into things where you're uncomfortable or unfamiliar. But I mean, I'm
yeah,
not one of these traders that just sticks to one thing. A lot of people are like that. That's not me. I study all styles, and I've read a lot of books, and I try and find the goodies out of every style, because if it's working for somebody, like, that's actually really important, because there's a lot of things that just don't work at all.
right.
So it looks like the cryptos are holding kind of strong in the overnight.
Looks
So
like it.
that's good. It'll be good for Tesla. I've been back and forth on Tesla.
It's getting up to that level, though. What is that? 60,000 you have on your screen up?
Yeah, like if I look at, let me bring up the GBTC chart real quick. I'm going to throw that on screen.
60,000 looks like a limit or a ceiling. If you look at March 15th and March 13th, well, there went that chart. Um,
Hey Chris, I don't know if you can
yes,
see it, but I got up the GBTC, which is a Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, and it looks like a cup and handle that's breaking out. So I
it
mean,
came,
I think it, the GBTC could clear. It might have enough power to clear past this, the high from February.
I
If
got
so,
S.
then Riot's going to
Oh,
do
there it
that
is.
too.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now the question is it going to do it in the next 2 days? And that's possible. So like, here's how I'm looking to play it. I'm looking at, I'm going to go in like this into combos, kind of like what I have shown here, and I may even
right,
keep going out like every 3 strikes higher, do a buy, and hopefully these will not be more expensive tomorrow, and
mhm,
have a combo like this, and maybe even higher. It just depends. Just go out like that because it's if it hits like this is I can generate enough premium to pay bills to cover this kind of stuff with other
right,
trades. And if it hits, then like here's your juice. And what you could do then with these calls is you can roll higher as it's working for you. So rather than just like take profits, you can roll higher or you can roll out. You can take those profits and roll out to next week. But I mean, that gets expensive fast when stuff's really moving to roll out.
right.
So, like, I rolled out on GameStop last week into this week, and I got right out of it on Monday because I didn't like it. And then, sure enough, it just really kept going down. I should have bought those put spreads. I was looking at them, but I thought, I don't want to play it on the short side right now.
Right.
So, yeah, these kind of like call walls is probably a good way to play Riot, a really inexpensive way to get in on crypto. So, I mean, the crypto folks, they get really excited, if their cryptocurrency goes up 10% or whatever, and it does all the time. But Riot's even more volatile, and these call options are even more volatile than that. So, I mean, the potential for a breakout is here. So, when I talk about these 1 inch punch trades, there's 3 things I'm looking for. I'm looking for very little time till expiration. I'm looking for implied volatility that has decreased. So it's a smaller implied volatility. And when you see a chart that has like a cup and handle pattern, like what we see with GBTC, the implied
Yep.
volatility is less now because of this like cup and handle pattern. And so the third thing is I'm looking for a chart pattern that could potentially break out. So this to me, like I'm going to be concentrating probably on Riot because if you look at, I'm going to throw on here the ratio chart of Riot to GBTC, and you'll see that Riot's just outperforming like everything for when it comes to the crypto space. So I don't know if you look at a whole lot of ratio charts, but if this thing ever loads, I don't know what's with my internet.
The only thing I know about Riot is that it was never a Bitcoin company. Well, I'm sorry. It was never meant to be a Bitcoin company. The only reason that Riot became a Bitcoin company was during the 20,000 point or dollar run up in what was it, 2017, 2018? I forget what year it was.
Yeah, and they changed their business model. Yeah, and the
Right.
same true with Marathon Patent.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But I mean, if you try to look at it from fundamental aspect, it kind of blows that thought process out of the water because the company was never their filings had nothing to do BTC, which is why and I'm not trying to cut you off here, but the thought just popped in my head. That's why levels are important because you can look at any chart pretty much as long as it has good liquidity and it has a good strong price action history and you can trade it without knowing anything about the company.
Yes. Because there's people in there buying and selling and wheeling and dealing.
Right.
So
Right.
what this chart's showing, Chris, this is showing if you take the price of Riot, because Riot's in the numerator, and you divide it by the price of GBTC. And it calculates all these bars by doing that. The wicks, I don't even know why they show wicks. They shouldn't, because the highs and lows happen at different times of the day. So it's kind of like a meaningless thing to have on this chart. But you know, if you take the open price of Riot and you divide it by the open price of GBTC, and then mark it, and that's what that each bar will show, and then the same for the close. So ignore the wicks; they're meaningless on here. But the point is, when this chart is rising generally, and these moving averages are rising, it means that Riot is going up faster than Bitcoin's going up, and it's going down slower than Bitcoin's going down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the wicks. Can you just change it to a day? Wicks are an issue.
To change it to what?
An HA.
Oh, for my bar type?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Candlesticks.
Because I'm trying to grasp what you're saying here.
Yeah, I mean, I could change it to...
But if that's an issue, just run it by me one more time, what you're saying with the red and green bars.
Well, so the wicks don't matter, because what it's doing on to calculate the wicks is it's taking the high price data point for Riot and dividing it by the high price data point that day for GBTC. The problem is the highs might not have happened at the same time. See what I mean? So it's a false reading. Okay. But we know the open prices happen at the same time. They're the same timestamp.
So just focus on the body of the bar.
Yeah, exactly. For when it comes to ratio charts, yes.
Okay.
And so I do this kind of analysis a lot where I'm like zooming out, like, you know, is it generally rising? Yes. I mean, look at how furiously Riot's been outpacing the grayscale Bitcoin. Like it's moving up a lot faster. So, and by the way, when Bitcoin goes down, Riot goes down faster than Bitcoin goes down. It's just like it's in this solid uptrend right now. How long that goes on, I don't know, but I want to keep taking shots to the long side while this is true.
Right. Well, I think there's more liquidity in Riot because it's cheaper than trading Bitcoin.
Yeah, you're right. Not only is it cheaper, but it's got a very liquid options market. So I think like this is where the action is. I talked about doing a screener. Let's look at a screener and see if there's anything even stronger than Riot besides GameStop. I was looking at a 5-year chart of GameStop the other day.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was nuts. It looked absolutely nuts. Look here. Let me like zoom out on this monthly GameStop. Okay. See that? It's ridiculous. And if you take log scale off, it's even more ridiculous. Look at that.
I'm waiting for the chart to populate.
Okay. Yeah, it'll come up here in a second. I mean, GameStop looks like it doesn't want to be done yet. I just think that it's got to take a little time to do some building. Yep. You called it out the last time you were on the show. You said, you know, GameStop looks like it's run out of momentum. You were right, and it's fallen like a lot since then.
It looks like, I mean, on that monthly chart, it looks sick, dude. That's a crazy move.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But here, let me put it back to log chart. And let's zoom in though. Let's actually zoom way in. I want to look at 1 hour bars.
All right.
So 1 hour bars is where you have to go, or 1 hour is smaller, like even 30-minute bars. If you want to see a lot of the patterns on the charts right now, this looks like it's rolling over again, like it's run out of momentum. So like I'm just standing to the sidelines, waiting on GameStop. I'm not shorting this thing. I don't really want to short it.
I don't even want to know the premium on the short side.
Well, I think that the call options are more expensive than the puts on this.
For real?
Yeah.
That wouldn't make sense to me.
Well, the last time I looked at it, that was true. It may not be right now because it had this flush. So last time we did a show was what, the 13th? right here.
Yeah, it's a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and you were calling it out. You're like, it doesn't look strong to me. And I was long of the stock at that time. Well, I mean,
Now the puts,
with a bull call spread position.
not by much, by one strike, they outweigh.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. So back to Riot real quick. Yeah, when I zoom on this, like it just look at that just wall of volume in there pushing it higher. I mean, this thing looks like it wants to break out. If it breaks above this resistance here, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily going to stop at 72, but that may be the
What the
first
fuck is
resistance
that?
it hits.
I'm sorry. Did that just happen?
What, this?
No. Look at the Riot chart on the 4-hour.
4 hour. Okay. Going
No,
there now.
never mind.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean it's a great looking cup and handle on a 4 hour. I mean it's at resistance right now, but I mean if it breaks through this,
No, I was looking at...
you don't want you want to know something interesting, Chris? Look at this. This upper Bollinger Band is 72 on the 4 hour
the
chart,
upper
and that's
Bollinger
the
Band.
level that you identified with the time analysis that you did.
Are you doing Riot? Let me put the Bollinger squeeze on it. Tricks with squeeze.
Here, let me switch to your screen because I want to see this.
And we're going to the daily, I assume you said on?
I was on the 4 hour. Yeah, go to 4 hour.
Okay.
So it's going to need a lot of strength to blow through that 72 level. I mean, it could do it. Like, if I put on some YOLO calls, I say YOLO. I shouldn't say YOLO because, like, you know, I play those positions so small relative to everything else.
If this doesn't gap up in the morning, I'm taking the trade.
Yeah.
I'm taking the 72 and change trade.
Gotcha. So you'll go in with a long 72 call or
yeah,
what?
I'll do it live tomorrow on my my podcast.
All right. Well, for everyone watching, tune into Chris's show. You can watch him play through this.
Yeah.
It's in so I have the link to your Twitter on my on the screen. It's also in the description of the video. In Chris's Twitter bio, you'll find a link to his live stream where he live stream his trading room.
Yeah, it's Zoom.
Trades.
It's Zoom, and I don't know if that's going to be available tomorrow. I don't think it will be. I'm going to have to find something else. So I might do what we're using now, which is Google Meets, and I'll just put that link. I'll place that link before morning.
Okay. Yeah. Got you. All right. So check for an updated link. And so for anyone who's just now tuning in, this is the combo that I'm looking at right here. So I'm starting with the 72 strike because that's resistance. So if it clears through the resistance, I have consecutive bets every 3 strikes higher is what I'm looking at going into. I don't know how far out I'll go. It depends on how expensive or how cheap these are, whether it gaps up or not. It's all situational. You know, we just want to come into tomorrow ready with a plan. And I know that stuff about, you know, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. But I mean, with this one, like if you're not at least doing the training, then you shouldn't even be climbing into the ring. And that's what this is. We're doing the training, right? So this is a combo that I'm looking at on Riot, and you can make it cheaper by removing some of these strikes. I'm going to be starting with a 72 strike because that's resistance. And so what I'm looking for is a move that blows through resistance will be the scenario where I make money on this trade. And if it doesn't do that, then it's just throwaway. There are ways that you can collect premium to pay for trades like this to get the market to pay for them. One way is we could go in here and do some kind of like put spread. Like here, let me knock one of these strikes off. And we'll look at a put spread. If you don't think that the price is going to go down, how much credit do we need to generate here? $3? Yeah, that might be kind of tough to do, but where's it at right now? It's at 65, right? So this will turn it into a ratio back spread if we do it like this. The price is at 65.
John, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get up and grab some a headset, and I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Here's what we could do. We could sell a 66 and then cap it here like this, and that should generate a lot of the premium. So you see what it does here is it makes it so if the price closes in this zone between 65 and 70, that if the price expires there, that your calls are paid for. That would be the reason to do this. And what happens is you're using time decay to pay for the trade. If the price goes down, you still lose. You actually lose more if the price drops by a bunch. So I don't think I'm going to be doing it like that. I do these ratio back spreads on a lot of things, but probably I won't be for this one. I'll just be doing like a really small position, throwaway size. Hey Chris, your screen is still sharing too, by the way, just FYI.
That's cool. I'm trying to hook up Bluetooth.
Got you. All right, so what do I want to look at next? We have not really talked about Tesla yet, and I didn't put Tesla in the description of the video, but I did want to talk about Tesla. So, I mean, it was really looking like it was running out of gas today in the morning, Tesla, and then it had this big recovery. And then, I don't know if you saw it, this guy, User Flyer, called out just a huge trade in Tesla. Let's build that trade in the combo builder right now and talk through that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I replied to that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's dig into that a little bit. I'm going to bring up the tweet, by the way, because it was a really interesting tweet.
Yeah, that was a nice catch.
Yeah, he posts a lot of great stuff. This guy's a great follow. So I'll have it popped up here in just a moment. I'm looking for it on another screen.
Sorry, I had to get my headset. I needed some coffee. So as you're talking through this, you know what I'm doing.
Okay, here we go. I got the tweet. Let me share that. Okay, hopefully people can read this, but and this, can I zoom in? Can I make that bigger? There we go. This is the combo we're going to be building right now. So it says Jelly Roll, 15 cents. But
I don't know what that means.
when I look at this, when I look at what these are, 4,300, 800 calls. I think I screwed up the math. I think this trade is much even larger than what I looked at, because I thought it was 800 calls. No, it's like 4,300, 800 calls. So in my original tweets back and forth, I misspoke. This trade is much even bigger than what I thought. So here's the other thing about it is both of these calls are buys and both of these puts are sells. So this is not a trade that like washes out as calendars. Okay, like when I looked at the Jelly Roll example that he posted a link about the Jelly Roll and how to do that. But this doesn't look like a Jelly Roll. So let's actually build this trade right now in the combo builder.
What he's doing is he's pinning 800 for the date. He rolled it out to the April OPEX, so he's pinning. There must be a wall there somewhere that he saw.
Well, here's the other thing about it is those 800 calls that he's buying are almost worthless. That's probably the most worthless strike that has any liquidity. So hang on, let me clear this out. I mean, you're right. There's something weird going on here, and when we dig into this, hopefully we'll be able to make some sense out of it. So, all right, the March expiration. This is the monthly expiration. He's doing this. He is buying the call and selling the put. Okay. Now the other part about it is the April expiration is also in this combo. And here, I'll put that back up on a side by side so you can see as I'm building it that I'm doing it right. The other thing is buying the 800 April expiration call. And these are the monthly expirations, by the way. So buying the 800 call, and it says selling the 800 put. Okay, so double check me. Does it look like I put this in right?
I am not over there. I'm making coffee.
Oh,
Hold
yeah. Okay, all good. And by the way,
No.
the size on this trade is 4,300 contracts at each one of these strikes. And if you look at the open interest, look at this.
March.
I mean, there's huge open interest at 800 on all of this.
No, he rolled that out forward to the to April OPEX.
No, this isn't a roll. This isn't a roll. I think
Those are all active?
It says 4,300 calls, 800 calls bought at 53 cents. And I've got that in there, the March 800. I mean, I don't have a quantity of 4,300 in there. I have a quantity of 1. I could do a quantity of 4,300. Let's do it. Okay. The broker will never allow me to do this. So
right.
Here's what this takes. Minimum investment is, I mean, you can't even tell me the margin impact on it. That's how big this is. This trade gets put on for a credit of almost $84 million.
I can't see.
However,
how much? 84 million?
Yeah. However, the margin impact is even higher. So let's knock it back down to one contract so I can show you the margin impact here.
This has got to be an IB.
Okay, look at the margin impact. So the minimum investment, it's a credit of $20,000 for one. Okay? But check this out. The margin impact is $60,000. So $60,000 times 4,300 contracts. And look at the profit graph. This is a synthetic stock position because it moves linearly up and down with the price. See that?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, and so with just one, like, I mean, Interactive Brokers almost can't even do this math. Like if I put 4,300 back in here, let's see what happens if Tesla moves up 10%. Can it even tell us? Yeah, look at that. I mean, I can't even read these numbers. They're just all squished in there. So this is not a retail trader. But anyway, so here's what we figured out was this person is intending to get filled, to get assigned on this put that they're selling, the 800 put. 4,300 contracts they intend to get filled on because there's no way Tesla's going to be at 800 in 2 days. And if it is, Chris, get this. They have a call option to buy it at $800 a share.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it goes over 800. Look, it's linear. It just keeps going. So they're intending to get Tesla shares. Now, why they picked the 800 strike, I don't know. That could be a function of, I mean, I just don't know why anyone would do a trade this big, like all at once.
I have no idea, unless there's something they know.
And so they're gonna get assigned, not just this month, but next month too.
I just don't understand why they'd be in such a strong short position or be willing to be put into such a strong short position with the market going up right
this
now.
is not a short position. This is a long position. They're going to get put the stock. So when these puts are exercised, then they're short these puts. And so at expiration,
they're selling the puts or they're buying the puts?
The stock will appear in their account. So like if you're long of a put and you exercise it, you become short.
Oh, they're long. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah,
I thought they were buying the puts.
No, they're shorting these puts, and so they've sold these puts, and so what this means is that somebody else can sell the stock to them for $800 a share,
right?
And then the reason they would do that is because, boy, I mean, it gets complicated, but
I don't know why he would want to do
Yeah,
that.
I don't know why you would go into the stock like this, other than maybe this solves a liquidity problem, because they're gonna get whoever sold those puts. Look, they have half of the open interest, and they're gonna get all those shares put into their account.
Yep.
So that's in 2 days, and then it's gonna happen again a month later. So I mean that had to be some big institutional deal, I guess. So anyway, that was a really interesting tweet. But back to Tesla itself, it's probably worthwhile that we do a little bit of due diligence here on the Tesla chart. Let me clear this out, because I don't even like having this trade in my simulator. It scares me.
I read that. When I responded to that, I read that completely backwards.
Yeah, you know what? I misread it too, because the math I did was for 800 contracts, not 4,300 contracts. So it was a little confusing, but now that we go back through it in detail, I think we were all kind of misleading it, but we're all in awe about just the sheer size and audacity of this play.
Right. What are we on, Tesla?
I flipped over to your screen, Chris. Yeah, why don't we look at Tesla? So I'm not in it right now either way, long or short.
Try that again. Nope, not a colon. Tesla. There we go. I don't see it.
You don't see what? Like the reason to get long?
I don't see 800.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to get to 800. So if it doesn't get to 800, the puts will expire in the money, and they'll be put the stock. And if it gets over 800, the calls go in the money, and they can buy the stock at 800. So they're going to be long the stock. Like that's.
Oh, I see what he sees.
Yeah.
He sees a inverted head and shoulders, and he's playing the measured move, I think, which is here at 150. And that's a Darvis box or a channel right here. Well, I didn't need to do that right here.
So there was big news about Nancy Pelosi got a bunch of in the money call options. You remember that?
No.
Okay, well, it was a pretty big news item like a month or two ago. And she got quite a bit of in the money call options. It was an expensive position. It cost like millions of dollars. And it was one of few positions that she disclosed. And so a lot of people are looking at that and thinking that, well, maybe it's because she knows something. And so the strikes that she had was like 550 or something. And Tesla was like 750 at the time. But she had a lot of time on them. They were like leaps or something. They're like deep in the money leaps.
Right.
I mean, here's something else. Like, I mean, this is like a hybrid play with the electric battery thing, and now with Bitcoin. Like, it's just and ARK. Like, it's almost like ARK has linked the Tesla share price up to a whole bunch of other innovative companies. So as goes ARK, so will go Tesla.
Right. I hear you.
So by the way, somebody posted a really interesting theory about that large position. They were saying, hey, what if this is somebody short covering? Like maybe they're trying to cover like a massive short position in Tesla. That would be one way to do it.
Yeah, it definitely would, wouldn't it?
I mean, I can't even imagine shorting that many shares. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
In any case, I mean, that's big news today.
That's a pretty good way to look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know that they could. Well, they could benefit from having the shares. They'd stay flat until they can cover their position using that. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where this thing is going to land, and I'm trying to use fibs, and I'm not finding it yet. I'm trying to make sense of this trade and the measured move.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I
So
keep coming
people
up with
can
the
see
same
what you're
number.
painting right now. So as soon as
Eight.
you're locked in on an idea here, you can talk us through it. In the
The only
meantime,
thing
I'm
I keep
sipping this Monaco Blue Crush. It's pretty
the only
good.
thing I keep the only thing I keep running into is the 890 strike,
The
which is
the
right at
890 strike.
yeah. Well, it's
That is
right at
way up there.
yeah.
Okay,
That's what
what's
I
your
keep running
timeline
into.
for that though? Because we'll take a look at that.
Uh, Give me a sec.
I was talking with someone on Twitter. They had a view, like a very bullishly, aggressively bullish view on Tesla. They were guessing that 1400 by June, maybe. I mean, that's
Really?
probably more bullish than I am on Tesla because that 900 resistance level was so strong. I mean, it
Right.
really shouldn't have it shouldn't have fallen apart there, but it did. I was playing the stock like pretty regularly on the long side at that time. And when it failed at 900, it was just like, man, that's kind of it.
Give me 1 second here. If looking left works, that's 20 days, 239 points at an angle of 231.32. So if I use the angle of 32, how many days did I say? 20 something?
What's that?
I think I said 20. That would put it at the 29th if it works out to be 20 days. Hold on a second. Yep. All right. March 29th is what I'm looking at. Oops. I got to undo that. Hold on.
It's all right.
I got rid of the wrong one. Dang it. I did it again. I'm such a dickhead sometimes. There we go. All right. So what I did here, let me get rid of this. What I did here was I took a measurement from this high to this low, and that was my original timeline.
Okay.
And then I took another one from this high to this low, which didn't really line me up with anything that made any sense.
Okay.
And I haven't gone low to low yet, but I'm not going to either because Tesla is going into a squeeze, as you can see right here by this little red dot.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out which one of those two was going to work. So what I did here was I did the past run up from a base, right?
Yep.
And I measured from there to its most recent high, which is around 266 to 239 points at a rate of 17 to 20 days at a 32 degree angle, because the angle matters.
Okay.
You got 33 there. Well, it worked out to be 32 earlier. I also had a bunch of shit on my screen. So using that and going with that, using a 32 puts you right at 20 days, 271 points at a 32 degree angle at the March 29th day at the 161 extension.
Yeah, I could see that. Like if Tesla was going to be
of
carving a base,
which puts you right around the 800 strike.
Yeah, if it was going to be carving a base, it would look kind of like that, what you've got drawn on there. And if it was going to go lower, it probably would have continued going lower today. Like today was kind of like an important reversal for Tesla.
Mm-hmm. So with those things in mind, and the fact that it's in an accumulation and has finished its distribution phase 7 days ago, I would venture to say that Tesla is going to go higher.
Okay, so what about looking at a, let's see here, what is it now? It's 700, right? What if we look at for April 1st expiration? Let's look at a bull call spread with 820 as the strike we're selling. What do you think?
Give me a second. I'm checking one more chart.
Okay.
I put it on HA.
You know what else we could do, Chris?
Yeah,
Let's
definitely.
look at a butterfly on that too, like an out of the money butterfly. And the reason I say that is because Tesla's it's got that resistance at 900. That could be a really good way to make a trade on this. So
right,
what's counterintuitive about a butterfly is
And you want to do the 19th of March?
April 1st. April 1st.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's look at two things. Let's look at a bull call spread and let's look at a butterfly. And what's so counterintuitive about butterflies is you make the most money at the strikes that you've sold the calls. And there's a lot of reasons for it. It's kind of complicated, but I always keep this book by my desk right here. It's Options as a Strategic Investment. I recommend this book for everybody. If you find this kind of work fascinating or fun or profitable or whatever, you're going to enjoy that book. All right. So, you got us on the so you're on the option chain for April 1st.
Right.
And what strikes are we looking at here? Okay, I see a 700 strike. Can you build a combo, Chris? Looking at do this one. Do long the 750 call.
Oh, got to add more.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna want a bunch of them. Yeah, that might work.
Hey,
oh no. Tesla's crazy because it's great for options. There's so many strikes.
Do I need? Well, are you going to go farther out?
Yeah, I'm going to go all the way out almost to 900. So you might put in. Yeah, okay, try that. Okay, let's do this. Let's go long the 750, which should have a lot of open interest.
Wait! I just realized I got to do something.
Yeah, I always do that too. Butterfly. Do butterfly.
If you are, because this thing chooses your butterflies for you, you're going to have to do a custom. I just realized.
Oh, custom. Yeah, that's what I want. I like custom.
Single vertical, color, unbalanced. Okay, I don't have the option for custom here. I used to have custom on here.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to do it. What's unbalanced?
Oh, unbalanced butterfly.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
There we go. All right, so we're doing buy. I got to move this over.
Oh, the coin. You know what? Just do a regular butterfly. It's that unbalanced one. It has the quantities all weird.
I can get stuff. I can move stuff around.
Oh, you can change the quantities? Okay. Switch the buy to a 1 and switch the sell to a 2. There you go. Yep, keep going. Yep. No, go back up. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and then for the strikes, can you change them to go from the 755, change that to 800, and then change the bottom one to an 850. Let's try it like that. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be any good. I just want to see what it looks like. We'll tweak it.
Okay. Now, how do I view that?
Yeah, there's got to be a viewer.
I don't know how to do that.
I know they have it on this platform. We'll have to do some figuring out about that.
They do. It's analyzed. I think it's probably no risk profile and simulated trades. I think this is it. No. I'm trying to remember because I don't I don't do.
You don't do all those like crazy combos like I do. That's
No.
all right though. We'll get you into it though. So dig around and try and find it. In the meantime, I'm
I
gonna build
think
the
it's
same
risk.
combo on mine while you look
I
around
think
for
it's
that.
risk
Cool.
profile. Oops.
Let me know when you got it brought up. In the meantime, I'm gonna build the same combo over here. So we went to April 1st.
Okay,
I mean, that
here
would
we
be a
go.
big move by April 1st. It's possible.
So now, what do I do?
So, all right, I can tell you what I'll describe for you what I'm seeing right now, Chris. Like, if Tesla is at 820. So first of all, here's what this combo costs. It costs $700 of debit. And there's no other margin impact than that. So well, it says $680 plus a commission of $6. So I'm rounding up to $700. But if Tesla, so for an overshoot would be 820. That overshoots the peak of profitability, which is at 800. If it gets to 820, which I think is like, I mean, that's a huge move. But I mean, I guess it has 2.5 weeks to do it. Then this combo will have made 200%. However, if it doesn't go up quite that much, like at the peak profitability, it makes six times the money. It's for a $700 investment, the most it makes is like around $4,300, something like that, in profits. So that looks kind of good, but like I don't know, maybe we can make it better with some iron condors in there too. It's like one of my new favorite things is mix the butterfly with the iron condor.
Iron condors, I always thought was for stocks that you expect to trade sideways.
Yeah, exactly. And so what I've been doing is I've been putting on an iron condor mixed with a butterfly on ARC, and I'm expecting ARC to gently rise, and that's the
Right.
peak of profitability on it. Is if ARC gently rises. If it shoots up, it'll overshoot, like the butterfly blows out. And
Right.
if it really overshoots, then the iron condor also blows out. So you're
So
right.
you're
For
looking
stocks that
for
trade
a
sideways, iron condor is the
melt
way to
up.
go. What's that?
Right. You're looking for a melt up.
Yeah, and not like a super aggressive one.
hmm
And so, I mean, I don't know if I want to put up the margin to do a big iron condor on this thing, but let's just look at how it could be done.
If we end up with a flat open in comparison to where we are right now, like we open up, we're around 10 or 15, somewhere in that range, then I would say that we're going to head into a melt up.
Yeah, if we open like flat or up.
From right now.
Yeah.
Meaning if we know more and lose less in so many words. A 10 to 15 range on the ES, then I would say that we're going to melt up for a while. If we reverse hard at the Euro Open, then all bets are off. And if we shoot up, exponentially from here, and we end up with a 50-plus open on the SPY futures, then, again, all bets are off, and we'll probably gap up on RIOT and everything else.
Yeah, and what do you even do at that point? I mean, I'll tell you what I would consider doing if we have a big gap up. Is I would go more into that ARC trade that I talked about on my on the last show that you were on.
I had some not so good things to say about that trade, and I've been watching it, and it had a really good day, and then it topped off yesterday, and then it fell out of bed, and then it recovered for the rest of the day because everybody else did.
Right, yeah. Oh, it was looking kind of rough this morning.
Yeah, and
And I'll tell you what else, Chris. When I put that trade on here, let me build it in the combo builder for people. I probably still have it up. Let me hop over to ARC real quick. Yeah, it's still in here. So when I
Well,
went to
it
put this
performed
on,
good after I talked shit about it, and then it fell out of bed.
well, I had to I actually had to adjust the prices because
Right.
I had to narrow things in, and so my the puts that the put spread part of it, I put even closer to the price. Um, I don't remember if it's this one or this one. Let's just look at one of them. Can we chart this thing?
What?
Let's see if IB will chart it.
What are you trying to chart?
I'm trying to chart that ARC trade.
Oh, the trade that you have. I
Yeah,
think you
let
have
me zoom out on it. Let's look
you
at,
went a bull call spread or a swoosh?
No, it's different from that. It's here. Let me build it in the strategy builder.
I
again.
can't see it yet. I can't see it yet.
I'm gonna build the exact one that I put on.
All right.
So and here's what I ended up doing. It's for March 26th. I ended up selling a 116 and buying a 110. And so this is a 6 points wide thing. And so if you look in here, the margin impact is 600. So we could do a similar thing with calls and not affect the margin impact, but we're going to earn an even bigger credit. And so what I ended up picking for that was the, I think what I did was 136. And so, yeah, that's what it was. And the 142. So this is the Iron Condor part of it. Okay. And then the butterfly part of it is like this. So now I'm going to add a butterfly in. I buy a 130. And then I sell 2 more 136s to bring the total to 3. And then I buy 1 more 142 to bring that total to 2. And this is the trade. And I can't rewind and look at it in the past, but I will tell you I was filling for around $1.50. I said on the show I wanted to fill close to 2.
Debit or credit?
Yeah, a credit. I filled with a credits of around $1.50 on these. And
were you able to keep that?
Yeah.
Or did it go against you?
I got it in more than one. I got a few of them.
Oh.
And so,
Nice.
I mean, I probably should have kept on buying them, but, you know, I wanted to be patient. And the thing is, it was just a one-way trade. Like, it just got tighter and tighter and tighter.
Right.
And so now, if you look, this trade is if you put it on, you can't even hardly get a credit out of it. Like, the current price for ARC is 128, it looks like.
It's flat.
Yeah,
Flat
and at
from where you started.
128, let's see here. 128 is right there. It's an 80 cents credit you could get. So it's tightened up by 70 cents. But you know, this is only showing you the worst price you could pay. You might be able to get a better price. So you know, you might still be able to get a decent credit out of it, but the point is, like, it's tightened up a lot. So the way I plan to play this out is, as time goes on, if it looks like ARC keeps going higher towards this like max profit level of 136, then what I'm going to do, and by the way, it's this 600 plus my credit, by the way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on tightening. I'll roll in on these on the put spread side of this. So these 2 puts, I'm going to roll them both tighter, and what that'll do is it'll keep adding juice to it for me. However, if ARC turns around and shits the bed, then, you know, so much for all that juice, right?
Right. Oh, real quick, I don't know how many people are watching right now. I don't have access to that. But for those of you that are, there is something that I have learned early on, and it really doesn't have anything to do with options, but I want to put it out there before I forget. There's something I learned very early on when I started trading. The Nikkei, the NKD futures predict or forecast what the S&P futures are going to do, and resultantly that forecast what the SPY is going to do, and, you know, so on and so forth on down the line. Rising tide, you know, lifts all boats. So when you want an idea of what the, and I also heard this from a very famous hedge fund guy. I think it was 2017. So if you want to know what, or get a good idea of what the SPY is going to do the following days, you need a few days of the Nikkei going up. And if the SPY is not following in unison, the SPY or the ES futures will catch up to the Nikkei eventually. I just know I saw the disparity between the Nikkei price, or the size of the Nikkei's up, and the size that the ES futures are up.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was looking through some charts earlier today, and hang on, let me bring these up. And I was looking at EWJ, which is sort of like, it's the US ETF for Japan. And I mean, it's been really strong. So I have the chart up now. And I mean, this is not the Nikkei futures.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, like, it's been really strong. And the other one that was surprisingly strong was Canada, EWC. EWC is just like ripping so hard. And I've seen people tweeting about the Canadian housing market, saying it's going out of control.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Well, I don't mean to change subject, though, but here's another one is FXY is the yen, the Japanese yen.
That should be going down.
Wow. Oh, man. I haven't looked at this in a while. It looks like TLT does.
The yen should be going down a lot. Why?
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised, actually. So,
the reason is because the yen is considered a risk parity trade.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say, Chris. Go ahead. Talk us through that a little bit. Let's talk about that.
No, that's it. That's all it is. It's just a risk trade. I don't know why.
Well, it's also a carry trade. You know, like the interest rates are low on the dollar and on the yen. And the yen's had a zero interest rate for like way longer than the dollar. And so these are carry trade currencies. And so when you get a carry trade unwind, then that's a risk-off event, and everybody who's borrowed in terms of all those currencies, they have to raise they have to raise cash, they have to raise those currencies, and that's why you get those big sell-offs. So in 2008, one of the big things there was a carry trade unwind. I actually got hurt by that a little bit, but here was a big one. It was the big carry trade at that time was long Australian dollar and short the Japanese yen, because the Japanese yen had the lowest interest rate pretty much in the world. I mean, there might have been some smaller currencies that were lower or same, but the Japanese yen was the developed market of the world that had the lowest interest rate, and the Australian dollar was the developed market currency that had the highest interest rate. And so when we talk about the carry trade or an income trade, that's how they're working. Is people are borrowing in terms of one thing and putting it into another. And then what Chris was talking about a moment ago with the with risk parity is these are volatility balanced strategies. So instead of, like, for a normal portfolio theory, they're trying to diversify across some kind of a metric. And do you have Heiken Ashi bars on that?
Yeah, I do, actually. Are you talking about on the Canada?
yeah. Sorry. It catches my eye. But anyway, yeah, those are cool. Anyway, sorry. What I was talking about, though, was with risk parity. With a normal portfolio, you're trying to balance evenly across some metric that's not necessarily volatility. You might have 10% of your portfolio in Apple, and 10% of your portfolio in GM, and 10% of your portfolio in AT&T or whatever. It's something like that, and you're rebalancing those things once a month or once a quarter, that kind of thing. But what risk parity does is they actually measure the volatility of everything, and they say, well, if the volatility expands, then I'm going to reduce the allocation to that holding until it's a similar balance with everything else that I have. And so it's a way of using leverage to transmute every holding in a portfolio into a similar asset to all the other ones.
Yeah, it's like beta weighting a portfolio.
Yeah, beta weighting. That's a great way of putting it. So the big risk parity funds are the Ray Dalio has one. The which one? What's the name of that? I'll think of it.
I don't.
And there's a few other ones. There's one that has an ETF, and so you can actually like trade that one. You can buy it if you want. I think you have to be a pension fund to get Ray Dalio's fund. Hang on, let me get a list of these. I can't believe this is slipping my mind, but you know, it's I need another cup of coffee. All right, how about that? Then maybe I'll think of it.
Beer.
Risk parity funds. Let's just check this real quick. I want a list of the funds. Dang it. A buddy of mine used to work at Ray Dalio's fund.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. And I'm going to try and have him on the show. Hang on. I'll come up with it. Bridgewater.
That would be cool.
That's it. Bridgewater. It's like, once you hear it, it's like, oh, yeah, Bridgewater. Duh. And then the other ones, I think it starts with an A. They're like the big competitor to Bridgewater. Risk Parity Fund ETF. If you type that in, let's see here. Here's a new one. RPAR, Risk Parity ETF. Well, I'm going to look at that chart. Let's see what's up with that. So, by the way, looking up new products is a really fun part of trading homework.
That'd be if it's optionable.
RPAR is optionable.
I see that. Oh, duh. I'm still trying to build things. Butterfly.
Yeah, it's got low volume. I mean, it's.
Oh, dude, yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's like a slow mover. That's how these things work, though. Like, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And in March, I mean, that was a big shock. I can't believe how well it's doing, actually, with bonds going down the way that they are. Like, you could see bonds and gold dragging this thing down. But probably they're lightening up on their bond allocation because it's been so volatile.
Right. Hold on a second here.
Well, this Monaco Blue Crush was really good.
I can't see. Dang it. There we go. 32 bars at a 28 degree
What's that
angle.
other fund? There's another one. Risk Parity Fund.
53.
Mutual Fund.
28 bars at a 23% angle. 27 bars at a 20 degree angle.
Which one are you looking at? RPAR?
Yeah, I'm just doing some symmetry measurements.
Got you. So the big deal with these things, by the way, like the big use for them is not so much for retail investors. It's pension funds who have outflow obligations. So, like, you know, me and you, like maybe we're living off of our retirement money, but maybe we're not, right? But the point is, like, most retail doesn't necessarily have an outflow. Like, they could go get a job or whatever. They aren't necessarily trying to live off their money. But pension funds are, because they have predictable outflows. And so because of that, they don't want to have to be selling at the market bottom. And so they want a stable asset class that grows slowly and predictably over time. And that's what risk parity funds do. And part of what they hold is they hold things like mortgages. They hold things like municipal bonds, just like insurance companies do. So insurance companies, they have unpredictable outflows because they don't know when they're going to have to pay claims. But nevertheless, they hold a lot of the same kind of assets. Insurance companies is such a fascinating thing. As an options trader, it's helped me a lot to think about like an options speculator or an options trader as someone in an insurance business. That's a good line you just put.
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, I used to work for an insurance company, by the way.
Oh, you said mortgages, and the first thing I thought of was IRR.
You don't have what?
You said mortgages, and the first thing I thought of was IYR. Oh, you're looking at the RPAR line I put. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, yeah.
Or are you looking at the IYR?
So,
Right.
so by the way, here's my next chaser for what little Jameson I have left in the bottle. A lot of Irish coffee mornings. I got a lime Truly. These are pretty good.
Nice. So what I did with the RPAR is I put that line, I put an at or below limit on it, and then I put a little gray oval where I expect it to hit.
So it's trading nicely in this channel. It's actually at the top end of the channel now. So
yeah,
what to do with that?
I don't know.
This is IYR you're looking at.
Yeah, if rates continue to rise exponentially from this point, I'm going to take it short. IYR does not like high rates.
Well, if it's when the short end starts chasing that IYR doesn't like it. And I mean, I don't know when that's going to happen, but I can tell you this. I saw a news headline today that Brazil raised interest rates by like 0.75% or something. I looked at the Brazil ETF, and it's still hanging in there strong. But the point is, they're doing some tightening. So, by the way, my shot glass. Take a look at that, man. What do you think of that? It'll show up on your screen in a second.
All right, I see you pouring it. Was that Jameson?
Yeah, I got a Rick and Morty shot glass. Yeah, it's Jameson. I normally have this in my coffee when it's not a weekday, like on Saturday or Sunday. I like to enjoy it with a big breakfast, but
nice.
Yeah, but because it's St. Patrick's Day, then here we are.
Yeah.
I saw a bottle of. I was in the liquor store the other day. I saw a bottle of that vodka that. Gosh, what's that fighter's name? McGregor. The McGregor endorses that proper
Colin
whiskey.
McGregor?
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know if it's any good.
You talking about Colin McGregor?
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Connor.
Yeah, now is he fighting again, the boxer?
I
Floyd
heard
Mayweather?
he retired, and then there was some scuttlebutt that he.
Yeah, I saw a headline about it. Like, I can't believe, why would he get beat up again? Come on, dude.
I don't know.
That was a great fight, though. I watched the first one.
He is a bit of an eccentric individual, but he is. He's got the fight of the Irish in him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was up against like the best boxer, dude. I mean, let's face it.
Right.
I mean, at least the best boxer of today. All right. So, by the way, REM. I went in huge into all those mortgage REITs at the market bottom in 2020. And the energy stocks too, and they went sideways for so long that I just let them all go. But in hindsight, I wish I didn't. I mean, if I was a better trader, I would still have this position. I don't though. I went in so huge, Chris. I was buying. I was doing what's called buying with both hands, which is like when you're on the floor and you're a floor trader, you're doing the. I don't know how they do the buy, but they're doing the buy signal with both hands, not just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the double meaning there is buying with leverage.
Those days are so.
I was like all in
man.
On the MLPs,
runners and all that on the
MLPs and the mortgage REITs. I was all in. No, and what spooked me out of it too is I feel like there's like a permanent adjustment to commercial real estate. It made me uncomfortable. And the economy was just off for so long with the lockdowns and stuff. I didn't want to sit there with oil stuff. I made a lot of oil bets, and some of them were great, and some of them were not.
Hey, could you remind me what Simon Properties ticker is?
SPG.
Thank you.
Yep, Simon Property Group.
All right. See, this is a very big holding in IYR.
Yes. And you know what? You're jumping straight to like one of the big problems in that ETF.
Did you see that? Did you see that that oh Jesus Christ, retracement I had.
No.
Oh, check. Let me undo that.
Undo the undo.
Look at that.
Yeah, so there's a major resistance level coming up there. And you know what? It's
That's
like
how
this
long
with airlines and stuff too.
That's how long ago I looked at SPG.
Yeah.
And I got out at like 161 when it started flattening out.
Oh, brilliant move then. I mean, if
No,
you were
I
in
was
it.
short. No, I was short.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So,
Yeah.
by the way, this is like a sibling stock to the retail ETF, XRT, which has been short squeezed to the moon, dude. XRT looks ridiculous. GameStop is a big holding in XRT. It's unbelievable.
Holy Christ.
Look at that. Yeah.
I can't wait to fucking short that tomorrow.
Oh, dude, be careful, man. It has GameStop in it.
There ain't no way this is going any higher, man. No, that's done.
I know, but well, that's why I wanted to call it out. It doesn't just have that. I think it has like Plug Power in it or something, and
How
Plug
much?
is not doing well.
How much does this cost to trade?
Hang on, while you're looking at that, I'm going to bring up the holdings in XRT, Chris.
All right.
So yeah, give me just a moment to bring that.
Oh,
up.
I'm on all. I can't see.
Hey, by the way, if anybody watching wants to shout out a ticker, we can riff on it. That'll be fun.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ! Look at that spread. Unless it's something that just happens in the overnight.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. That's ridiculous.
It might be just an overnight thing.
All right, so here's the holdings on it. Hang on, I'm going to put it over your screen
is.
for 1 second. We got GameStop is the number one holding in it. Yeah, duh. And it's 6.75%. Magnite, MGNI, this one has been on a tear this year. It's been on my watch list for a while. Signet Jewelers, I have no idea why that's doing well. Rent-A-Center, again, don't know why that's doing well. The Real Inc., I never heard of that. Designer Brands, Children's Place, Boot Barn Holding, Kohl's Group, Sportsman's Warehouse Holdings. You know what? I thought Plug Power was on here, but maybe it's not.
All that stuff should be dying right now.
Yeah, exactly. And like Kohl's, KSS. I mean, yeah, exactly.
They're in bad shape. I mean, they partnered up with Amazon, but it's not going well.
Yeah, so what's happening here is this is getting short squeezed. But you know here's what's so weird about it.
Center died when the global financial crisis happened. I don't know what they.
Well, when you look at Simon Properties Group, that should have been the fate for like all of these companies, but somehow it wasn't.
Yeah.
And you know what? I couldn't have predicted it. It's some kind of market dynamics. Like, we talked about that Patrick Byrne theory, right? For the GameStop short squeeze. That, my theory is that one of the key pools in that move is some kind of a money pool. It's either operated by or it is has Patrick Byrne as a consultant or something like that. But, I mean, I think probably he's a key player. And I have a lot of reasons for it. If people watching don't know what I'm talking about, they can go back and like watch the very first stream that I ever did on this show. And I went into pretty good detail on it there. I kind of like broke that story. And
Patrick Burns?
Yeah, and it started enough of a rumor that I was just following on some research that other people put out there that put me onto that track. And I connected that research back to Patrick Byrne. Those other people did not. However, Patrick Byrne tweeted out before he got shut down on Twitter. He tweeted out that, hey, if you want to know that, a lot of people are asking what's the real story behind GameStop. And he like posted a link to his website. He tweeted that out, dude.
Really?
It was like the very next day after I did that show.
No shit.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there were a lot of people that started to get onto that trail, not just me. and they started to connect the dots back to Patrick Byrne. But the main thing that, I mean, I've just been at this for so long, and if you have at least some memory for some of this stuff, you connect the dots. It's like when just a minute ago you were like, hey, let's look at Simon Property Group, and you already had all those lines on there. Well, for me, what connected those dots was I read somebody did a due diligence on Wall Street Bets subreddit about the failures to deliver for GameStop shares, and that it was a huge statistical outlier for the rest of the market. And failures to deliver are associated with naked shorting. And I thought, you know what? When I first got into trading, there was a big naked shorting story. And it was with Overstock.com, and Patrick Byrne was the CEO of that. Oh, where have we been seeing Patrick Byrne lately? He was in all these White House meetings with Donald Trump at the very end of his term. So Patrick Byrne is like, I mean, that guy, I would put him kind of like as a John McAfee, like
really
eccentric rich person who's like not really ready to just be a part of the establishment.
That was the same guy that was hooked up with the Russian gun girl, right?
I think so. I'm not sure though. I think you might be right, but he's been his company Overstock.com. He doesn't actually work there anymore. They were the target of naked short sellers, allegedly, according to their lawsuits. And they have a long-standing lawsuit against many investment banks, including Goldman Sachs, still going today.
What am I doing?
Huh? Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about Overstock.com. And so what I got stunned by...
I was trying to look at Patrick Byrne and the gun girl, and the next thing I know...
Oh, well, I mean, I don't care about that. But, the thing I was stunned by was when I looked at the Overstock.com share price and I overlaid it with the GameStop price. Like, that's when I got floored. Like, that's when I was like, oh, shit, there's something big going on here. Okay. And my hypothesis is that silver is next, but I don't know. And
I've been trying to understand what the hell's... You remember when I told you I went in silver all in? 2 days later,
I don't remember that part of it. I remember you saying that you put some of your bars on eBay, which is great because, if you get bidders, they're locked in. So if the price drops after that, you're fine.
I tweeted it to you. I didn't say it on the show. I tweeted it to you.
I got you.
But anyway, I had think it was Friday or sometime.
All right, well, let's talk silver.
I said I was all...
Let me have it.
All in. I was all in silver, and 2 days later, I said I'm all out silver.
Yeah. Oh, it's been hot. I actually closed out a Junior Gold Miners Iron Condor today because it blew through the top end of my Iron Condor, so I got out early.
I know. I lost big the very next day. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, so that silver chart, that's looking okay. It looks like it's kind of held its support, and now it's back on the upswing. I mean, that false breakout, like that's so bad technically, man.
Are you talking about silver?
Well, I'm talking about, see that high at 27.98? Your stock is talking to you, your stock chart?
My stock is talking to me. My stock.
Yeah, it has like a chat box. It says hi at 27.98.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah. That false breakout, that's like technically so bad. And by the way, when that happened, I was not really... I was skeptical of it, and I went in very cautiously. You can go back and watch the show where I talked about that. But I went in very cautiously because gold was not following. And when gold and silver are not moving together, then it's going to be a short-lived move.
I got in 2 days before that. I got in on that semi-spinning top quasi-hammer looking candle.
It's right in between those bars.
Yeah.
Or you're right in between your lines.
Yeah. And then I got out when it hit 28.
All right, hey, quick reminder for anyone watching the video, we're introducing tonight a brand new playlist This is the official Trading Homework Spotify playlist. It's in the description of the video. So what I encourage you to do is put that list on while you're doing your trading homework, or enjoy it while you're watching this show. Just have the volume, kind of mix the volume levels so that you can still hear us. But yeah, that's one of my favorite playlists. I've been working on it for actually like a year. And I finally refined it enough to where I thought it would be a good fit for the show.
Cool.
And
I'll have to check it out.
I did a sneak peek, by the way. I just popped it up on the screen so people can see the songs. So here's some of the artists. A lot of these are little known artists. For me, this list actually started as a different list, and it was a Foster the People playlist from like many years ago. And I added a whole lot of songs to that list since then. And Foster the People's out. Like, they're not even on this list. But so some of the new ones, Battle Tapes, Big Data, Bare Hands, Beck's on here. I've got Queens of the Stone Age. There is a Foster the People song on there. Never mind. I thought they were out. Dandy Warhols. Anyway. Weezer. It's got a Weezer song on it. Lots of good stuff. Weezer. Yeah, it's kind of chill, but it's high. It's like a high energy. It's chill at a high energy level. So,
but then again, I like Guar, so I mean, you take that for whatever.
Yeah, all right, man. I like all that stuff too. I mean, I grew up back then. So lots of great songs on here. And anyway, check it out. Give me your feedback. And so that's the new thing with today's show.
Cool.
Yeah, and hey, Chris, I've got a couple of upcoming guests, and you're certainly welcome to be on a panel. We could do a panel style. I got a couple of guests upcoming I'm excited about. So it turns out I actually live down the street from a day trader. And I'm not actually a day trader, by the way. I'm a position trader. Hang on one second. I got to go on mute. Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead. So, yeah, John trades a lot of different things. I am more of a day trader, swing trader. Very rarely do I ever go into a stock and hold it. I don't believe in the Ponzi scheme, so that prevents me from actually owning stock, just from a morality stake.
All right, I'm back. Go ahead. Right. Keep going.
I was just telling people that I don't hold stocks, and from a morality stake, that you are a position trader. I am more of a day trader, swing trader. I don't hold stock. But what I should have been doing was looking at the chart, because just as I put my head down as I was explaining that, I saw a gap. And that gap is on the February 26th, and it gapped down from February 25th. See that little space right there?
Yep. Oh.
We're targeting that space.
Interesting. And we're on the upswing. There's a gap at the bottom of that V also, by the way, that you drew.
Yeah, it got filled.
Yep.
By the...
Yeah, that bar. Yep.
March 12th candle.
All right. Well, and that's good news for me. I've got a lot of long silver exposure. So when I say a day trader, this guy, he's like you. He's not really carrying positions overnight, but he's not an options trader either, though. Like, he's in there just going in and out of shares, and he's flat at the end of the day. And, I mean, this guy, he's got some wild stories. I mean, it's so fun to talk to him. I can't wait to have him on. I'm so fascinated by trading style. Like, I learned so much just from looking at the tools other people use, the style that they have. Like, for me, it's always fascinating. I learned so much from everybody. So it'll be fun to have him on the show. Since he lives down the street, he may come sit in here with me, or he may do it remote from his house. I'm not sure how he'll want to do it. But so I'm out on my phone talking to my buddy, walking around my neighborhood doing, I live in a pretty big neighborhood, just walking around doing laps. And I'm on my phone talking about stocks with everybody. My dad was alive back then, and I was talking with my dad a lot, talking with another buddy of mine. And this guy kept overhearing me talk about stocks because he's out walking his dog or whatever. And so he was like, "Hey, you talking about stocks?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, he's like, "Well, I'm a day trader." Awesome. And you know what the funny thing about it is? It turns out we were already following each other on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a small world, man.
Right?
Yeah, so I'm excited to have him on. I hope that it can be a panel show with you if you're around and available. Or maybe not the first time, but at some point, just whenever.
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I've got some other buddies that. So the guy who convinced me to really start digging into options, I want to have him on the show too, because I haven't been trading options but for about a year, and a lot of people have been trading options longer than me. They're maybe a little bit less experimental than me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've studied it pretty hard, so I'm trying to catch up. But what prompted me to trade options was that I was unable to properly hedge using tools like VXX and ETFs, and by shorting. Like nothing I could do was enough to hedge what happened in March of 2020, and that's what convinced me that okay, it's time to start digging into this other world. And now I don't hardly trade anything else but options.
Yep.
So anyway, it's been a long road, and you've been doing it much longer than me.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I say that, I don't know. You've been working your game longer than I've been working. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about.
I've been in options for since 2015. That's it.
Well, 2015. That's like 5 more years than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were trading.
No, I wasn't doing options until 2020. But it wasn't that big of a leap because I was already using all of the margin that I could get at all times. Right. Gotcha, I don't know anybody else like that's there at all times fully margined. I don't know any other traders like that.
Gotcha. All right, before I go, because I need to go soon, I wanted to pull up the crude chart. By all reason, should bounce off of this trend line.
So you're looking at right now. You've got a daily chart? Is this a daily chart?
It's a 4. No, I'm sorry, it's a 4 hour. But
4 hour chart.
You may as well call it a daily. It's that damn.
Well,
big.
No, it's not quite.
So I can put it on daily. It's cool.
No, go do the 4 hour. 4 hours better.
All right. So looking at the 4 hour chart, by all reason and understanding of support and resistance, this should have a false breakdown and touch the 50. If not, wick down below the 50. I believe that it's not going to do that it will have a solid bar below the 50, and then it'll be game over for oil. It's just a personal opinion. I know I've been on this oil mantra for a very long time. It does not belong up there at 67. It didn't belong up there at 65, and it finally broke below 65. And I've been saying this for, over a month now. As it was going up, I kept screaming, oil shouldn't be here, oil shouldn't be here, oil shouldn't be here. And I don't know what the
I don't know what the causation is. It's a lot lower now than it was when you were saying that, right? Like in earlier in the month. Look at that. It shot up to 68 almost.
Yeah.
And that's when you were pounding the table the hardest.
Yeah, because it went stupid parabolic. But the whole run up, I've been no. From the beginning of February, I guess, I was having issues with it, and I don't believe that this is a bull flag. I don't believe that this is going to go higher. Can it? Yeah. of course it can. Look what it just did over the past God knows how many months. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah, and I put on a trade long oil or long energy stocks in June, anticipating a big move higher. It was the move that we just got. I anticipated it in June, or maybe it was July, and it didn't happen. And that makes me sad. That was a big trade I put on that failed.
This is where I stopped. Right around in here is where I stopped liking oil.
So as it's breaking out.
From here, I
That's
hated
a
oil.
big move, man.
I fucking hated it. It doesn't belong there. And I expect it. I demand it to get down to here.
To 50. I mean, it sure could.
That's
Okay,
that's
so
where I expect oil to go.
Hypothesis 1. This is not a bull flag.
No. It's not a bull
Well, you'll
flag.
know, Chris, you'll know if it clears below that low at the, was it 63? That old low at 63? If it breaks down underneath that, then, you'll now have a series of lower highs and lower lows. However, what's the trade here? Is there a position that you're looking at playing with this? Or?
Yeah. I'm eyeing. I was in it earlier today, and I got my ass
XLE.
handed to me.
Yeah.
I got my ass handed to me. I was profitable, and then I wasn't. I was doing good, and then that happened.
Okay, how about your oscillator? What's your oscillator telling you here? Because I don't see it on the chart, actually. Your normal oscillator.
My oscillator's aimed up, but this is the HAs. I don't.
Yeah.
Usually
Can we get your
my oscillator?
Yeah, that's the one I want to see on here.
Is also saying buy. It's saying buy right now. It's a buy.
Okay. All right. So.
But let me give you this thing. Let me give you this. There's no reason that XLE can't go up while crude is going down. Why?
Right.
Because I've seen it do that stupid shit before, and it makes me rip hairs out.
Yeah.
What little I have.
So what about USO? I don't know if you ever trade that, but if you have a bearish stance, USO is it's a stinker, man.
I think it was because of the premium on the premium that was pissing me off on USO. Let me look at it.
I mean, that might be an
okay
okay way
back down to reality. No, you don't understand. The 43 strike on the 2-day out was 50 cents a week or two ago. There was no way I was getting into that. I mean, it was just stupid as it was going up. The implied volatility was just going crazy.
Yeah.
So now that you know what? Let's look at the USO.
Well, the thing I like about USO is they're rolling somewhat near-term oil contracts, or at least that's what the price is going to reflect.
So this chart looks a little bit different than the actual crude chart, which is okay. Yeah, it looks a little bit different.
It's a little different.
That's okay, because levels are the same for the most part. So we have a little bit to go on the USO to break below. Go to here first. So we're going to put a retracement up to the 45 and a half. And yeah, now it's starting to look a little bit similar. So I think we're going to break below 43.10, and we're going to touch this. Now, if it's a full bar and it closes on the low, then I am fully on board with look out below. And this chart actually is showing me that this has still got leg to go down. Even though the MFI is signaling a little bit of purchasing there, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm still looking for a continuation down.
Can I bring up some combos on USO?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, because I mean, like XLE, the reason I don't want to put on a short in XLE is because it's gonna have like the tug and pull of the stock market swaying on it,
Yeah.
and really like the purity of the idea is with oil and USO, because oil normally has a contango to it, is generally
Hmm.
going to have a downward pressure on it. It doesn't mean that like it's going to go down all the time, but it
Right.
means that there's a natural drift to it, that is at like a gravity. It's fighting gravity
Right.
when it goes up. So let's take a look at USO options. I don't know how liquid they are because I don't look at it all that often, but it'd be fun to play with the combo builder in here.
Side note, something I didn't think about. The only thing that might save oil off of
Go
this
ahead. I got your
bar
screen back
close
up,
on the
Chris.
low.
Go ahead.
The only thing that might, I'm not even over there. The only thing that might save the oil trade from going below the trend line closing low is the fact that when Jerome Powell opened his mouth, for lack of a better phrase, the dollar got crushed.
Yeah.
And when the dollar got crushed, I was shocked to see that oil did not take advantage of that. So
Well,
that might be something that happens tomorrow.
that's
if
a
the
really
dollar
good
continues
point.
to get smacked.
And so with Fed meetings, a lot of times what we'll see is the initial reaction, which we saw today, was higher for stocks. That then gets faded over the next week. It happens all the time.
Uh-huh.
It was a pretty volatile day, and to the upside. But a lot of times after a Fed meeting, that initial reaction gets faded. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does.
Right.
So, I mean, it'll be something to watch for. I feel like we can't hardly talk about oil without talking about TLT.
Okay. TLT.
Yeah.
Did you want to do that trade or not?
Yeah. Here, let me look at options on USL real quick, and then we'll look at TLT. The one thing I'm skeptical about with the options on USO is it's not a big share price. And I find that like high price stocks with a liquid options market is really the best place to be doing
Last
a lot
year it
of
was
trades.
trading at $4.
USL was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
They
yeah,
had to do a reverse
back
split.
in like March of 2020.
They had to do a reverse split.
Yeah. Well, it's good they did that. I wish VXX would do a reverse split. It would be nice to be able to like start trading those options again.
Right.
Let's see here. I guess let's go out on the calendar some. So, according to your readings, you're thinking that there could be some big downside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to.
after 27 million barrels being in supply over the last 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, the 2 weeks before this reading, and then we went up 1 million barrels this week. That tells me that we got more what's that word? Not stockpile. We have more. Oh Jesus Christ! When the stockpiles fill up.
Oh, the strategic reserve or whatever?
No, just another name for when the stockpiles fill up.
I
Supply.
don't have it.
We got more supply, and we're going to end up with more supply. There's going to be less of a drawdown coming as the months progress, and I think it should hit the market harder because not all the states are opening up. So I know that the market seems to think that driving cars around in the United States determines how much is going to be left in the stockpiles, which is the ultimate. That actually depends. That depends on, because I mean, gasoline is a refined product of crude. So
Yes.
while it does take a lot of crude to make fuel, at the same time, there's an end product that you can use with what's not being with what's left over from the refinery process. So the military, the military and global or countries, I should say, um, are dictating how much the fuel, how much reserves are going to be used. I believe we're still exporting, unless that's changed. I don't know because of the pandemic. I do know that there are tankers sitting out in the sea, and they're not moving a whole lot. And from what I understand, they're shipping vaccines right now as opposed to crude. I just don't see where crude has any demand. So I expect this to come crashing down. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Sorry, rant over.
Yeah, no, all good. I'm wondering if like a back spread would be good to do on this. What I've got up, Chris, is I have the 48 put for April expiration, which is in the money, but I'm trying to find something that's like not a penny stock version of an option, you know?
Penny stock version of an
Yeah,
option.
like I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do now is I'm looking at this 48 put, and I'm thinking like for April expiration, I'm thinking like, is there a way that we can like juice this up a little bit and make this a more interesting graph?
Oh.
It should come up on your screen here in just a minute. So I mean,
I would just do.
It's
I
really
would just
basic.
buy it outright.
You would buy it outright?
Yeah, just buy to open.
Yeah, you could, and it's I mean, you're looking at you got $500 on the line per contract, almost.
If you go deep in the money, yeah.
Yeah. This is it's in the money, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like, here's what I don't want to do is like just trade so many contracts that I'm burning money on commission and spread.
Oh, all right. Well then, why don't you do the 50?
All right.
And so that way you're getting delta 1.
Okay. Long the 50. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, and then sell the. Hang on a second.
What we could do? We could sell the 43, which is at the money, right? No, the 44. Hang on. 44 is pretty close to at the money. Okay, what does this look like? The spread's fully in the money. So what's nice about this is there's nothing but time decay in the trade. The bad news is if you're wrong, you're like really, really wrong.
Right.
What do you think about that one?
I'm waiting for it to pop up on your screen.
So,
no, I mean I'm waiting for the graph to pop up.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm trying to describe it here. It's a 6-point spread that can be bought for $4 and maybe $4.60 if you're lucky.
Uh-huh.
So you could make 25% ish. Now, what you could do is, if you're okay with making 25%, you could do an iron condor instead of doing it like this. Work. So instead of being a buyer of the expensive options, you could be a seller of the expensive options, but on both sides. And the range looked narrow, but the reason I built it like this, Chris, is because you said that like if this price level doesn't hold, then it's lookout below. And so that makes me not necessarily want to put an iron condor on it, you know?
Right. I would just make it kind of simple and just buy the 43 put.
Just buy an at the money put. Yeah. I mean, that may be the way to go. And you can get as many of these as makes sense.
Start getting your ass handed to you. Use your risk risk parameters and decide, whether 25, 35%, whatever it is going to work for you.
Okay, so I just threw that one up on the screen. Let me look at one other thing. We looked at the 43 put, but what if we finance that with a back spread? Or we do a back spread kind of thing here. So with a
I mean, this might be an opportunity to use your Go long short term based on the dollar weakness, and then longer out short.
All right, let's look at
Because it ain't going to
this.
go sideways. We already know it's not going sideways from this point.
All right, I think I got one for you, Chris. Hang on.
And the reason I say that is because we got triplich quarterlies.
All right, is this better or not? I don't know. So this is a different way it could be played. Here's what I've got on the screen. I've got a short a 46 call, or I'm sorry, short a 46 put, which is $3, and then I'm long a 43. And so what that does is it puts the margin impact at $300 for this position. And then I'm long 340 calls. Or I'm sorry, the puts, 340 puts. And so this is a ratio back spread. And what happens with this is that its price movement's not going to hurt you to the downside. It's time decay in a region between 45 and 40. However, if oil stays in the range it's in, this is not a good way to do it.
Does the time decay get added together?
Yeah. This trade is expensive for time decay, but if the price moves down aggressively, it's a really aggressive short trade.
It buys and sells?
Yeah, it's selling a 46, buying a 43, and then buying 3 40s.
Can we go out another month? Or do we have
we
to
can.
go out to
We can. It's going to make the range wider. But let's look at that. So what I'm worried about is
because the only reason I say that is because, I mean, if you're worried about time decay, you could always buy time if you're doing a debit, right?
Yeah.
Or a credit rather.
Yeah, this is it's a small credit. It's like a 15 cents credit for this.
Oh well.
Yeah, we're essentially using the credits to buy these out of the money puts. But hang on, let me compare that again to just the 43 put. I mean, this may be the way to go. Your gut instinct was the 43 put. Like, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, that looks pretty good. But should we be going further out on time?
Theta's only 2 cents. If you go out to May, Theta's only 2 cents.
I flipped to your screen. Go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Show it on your screen.
No. I'm saying that the data on it's only 2 cents in April.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I thought the data was like 15 cents or something. No, we're good. Yeah, go ahead. Fire it up on April.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at April.
That's good data. Now you got to watch your IV crush, though, because the VIX got hammered too.
Yep.
So you may not be trading at 37% premium tomorrow, or a week out.
Yeah, you're right. It's barely more expensive in May than it is in April. And the nice thing about that is, you can do a lot more to repair this trade if you need to in May than you can in April. Because you have time to make corrections and adjustments.
All right, let's go out to May then. May it is, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, but going out here in May, does it make sense to have a spread? Like, what if we do
I still think you should do a swoosh.
Long
the short term, and short the long term.
All right. Yeah, let's try and do that.
Tony's got a call coming in.
You do? Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't.
I just heard something like a doot, like it was.
Oh yeah, I got a little buzz on my phone, but I'll deal with that in a minute.
What's up, son?
There we go. I got your swoosh right there. Here's what I got. I got the May 43 put, and I have the April 1st 46 call.
I'm waiting for it to pull up.
And so you're gonna have to roll the call because the call is just protective.
Right.
But as you play this out over time, like say you play it out a week, say you get in now.
There it is.
This Friday you're fine, and then you have to roll on the 27th.
I love you too, buddy.
So
sorry, it was my son.
Yeah, you're right, dude. The swoosh is the way to go. Look at that. If I fast forward to or let's go out to April 1st. You got to roll before April 1st. Hang on, you probably have to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, March 24th. Yeah, if you roll by March 24th, you barely lose anything. And if the price has any kind of volatility, if you get that downside break you're looking for, it's great. And if you're wrong to the upside, you're okay too.
All right, so we have the swoosh on the USO.
Yep.
And then we have the RIOT blockchain trade.
Yep. And that was like a call wall on that one, starting at the 72 strike for this Friday.
We're aiming 72 for this Friday, and we got the swoosh on the USO. Are we doing April or May?
The put is 43 put for May expiration.
Okay, and then the call is going to be the 24.
I got a call of April 1st, 46 call, and it's adequate protection. It looks like it protects it really good for at least like a week.
Why are you so far out of the money on the short-term call? Because your thesis is that you're short? Or
exactly.
That
My thesis is that I'm short. That's right. So I'm at the money on the direction of the thesis. I'm at the money and with duration on the direction of the thesis. So and then the protection is short dated. In this case,
April 1st.
Go ahead.
Sorry. So the April 1st at the money for me is 117.
No, I have a 46 call for April
and what I'm
1st.
asking is why are you only going for the 25 delta instead of the 50 delta?
Let's see what it looks like.
I'm just curious.
Well, I picked it because it was like a little less than 10% out of the money, and it was with a much shorter duration. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, we could try it with the 50 delta. Which strike are you looking
46, at? It's actually 46. It's 117. The 44 strike.
The 44 strike on April what? April 1st?
First, yeah.
April 1st. Okay, 44 strike. It's close. It's very close.
Yeah, and this way you don't, like you said, you don't have to buy as many. And like if you do 5 contracts of the May put, you can do 2 contracts of the April 1 44 strike.
You're right, Chris. This is better. It loses less at the current price. And yeah, I like this better. Good eye.
All right, so we're going long 44 strike on April 1, and then we're going short at the money May 21. Is that the 43 strike or the 44?
I got the 44. I mean, you could use a 43 maybe, but I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
And it looks like these would be $3 a pop.
Decide your risk too. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, I think, right? 2-to-1, 3-to-1, somewhere around there.
Oh no, I would do 1-to-1.
Really?
Yeah, one put for one call, and it's you just need volatility to come in. It's almost like a straddle, but it's not because there's a calendar aspect to it, right? Because you're trying to hold a short position in the oil,
right?
And so when it's running your favor, you just let go of that protective call. But if it goes against you with the protective call, then you readjust the position. You have to, because it's only protecting you for a short time. Like, even though it protected you, it did its job, but that's it. It's about to vaporize.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be my newest favorite play, actually.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so awesome. These swoosh trades are the best. I shouldn't say the
All right.
best, but they're awesome.
Yeah, they don't work for sideways. That's for sure. They'll kill you in sideways.
Yeah, but that's why I do those iron condors and the I don't know what I'm going to call it. The iron condor mixed with the
butterfly.
The butterfly. Yeah,
Iron
I gotta come up
butterfly,
with a name
man.
for that. The what?
Iron butterfly.
Iron butterfly. All right, that's it, dude. You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's an iron butterfly. Perfect. That's perfect. So yeah, you can get good time decay with that. And that one I put on, like, it's working.
Huh?
That one I put on, it's working. You know, it's
still... now you're gonna have to put Inagata Davida on your playlist now. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do have to wait like all the way to the end with those things. That's how it goes with butterflies. You should see my friend describe it. He's like, on the last day, it's like it comes out of its shell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, man, we probably need to get towards wrapping it up. But thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, well, I actually feel good today. I took extra pain meds, so I don't feel like dog shit wrapped in cat shit today.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, for anyone watching the show, Chris is a veteran. Shout out to all the veterans out there. Hopefully some of them are tuning in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start reaching out to some vets to see if I can get them to come over.
Yeah, you know, it's I got a lot of friends that signed up because of the 9/11 thing, you know? I mean, that's just the age group that I'm in.
I signed up for the Kuwait thing.
Oh, that's even before that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in for Daddy Bush.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got any stories you want to get into, or you want to save it for another day, maybe? I mean, I don't care. I'm in for whatever.
Hot and then freezing and dusty and shitty, and I just wanted to go home. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was if you could take Rage Against the Machine and take all of their lyrics and apply it, that would probably work.
Yeah.
But there was still injuries there. There was a lot of friendly fire mistakes. That was before Blue Force tracking came about, which actually was the reason that Blue Force tracking did come about. And I was a part of that after I got out in 2007, 2008. And Blue Force tracking is a satellite software where the boxes inside of the Humvees, the Apaches, the Shithooks, the Blackhawks, they identify each one another as a blue icon. A yellow icon on your screen or your heads-up display would be yellow, and red would be your enemy. And it saved a lot of lives going forward from the days of the original 1991 invasion of Iraq.
Oh yeah,
and the top
I bet. What was the name of that again? You said Blue what?
Blue Force tracking. I was
Blue
a government
Force tracking.
contractor. I worked in the lab, and I was doing a lot of ISO imaging, uploads, and making sure that the satellite was communicating with the boxes. But
So
yeah.
hey, you might find this interesting. Something that I have a background in is with neural networks for image recognition, and so I mean I know it's a little different than, you know, when you've got devices that are doing the analysis, but you know, it's different than when a computer's trying to guess what it's seeing. But I did do,
Right.
you know, some of that that kind of work, and I'm a little familiar with it.
Nice.
But not that specific project you mentioned. I mean, it sounds like a really great project.
It is, and it was born from the necessity out of 2001, and you know, the soldiers that died at the hands of other soldiers, obviously not their fault,
Right.
but that was more of a TOC communications breakdown and that was the first major deployment since Christ the Vietnam War. So it was a massive failure on the brass end, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, when you have those kind of incidents, I mean, it's really tragic.
Yep. But anyway, my son's starting to get loud in the living room.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yeah,
It
I
was
gotta
good talking with
go
you,
tuck
John,
my
as
kiddos into
always.
bed too.
Say again.
I gotta go tuck my kiddos into bed too. I got 2 boys.
Oh shit, we're just about to start to play.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for
that's
coming
what
on,
happens
Chris.
when you homeschool, man. You make your own hours.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. So just a recap for anyone who may just now be tuning in. Chris's show. Check his Twitter bio link in his in the profile section of his Twitter for his trading room, and he does live trades in there. It's a day trading room. So that link, the link in the description of this video is probably stale. So you may need to go and check with his Twitter bio to get the latest and greatest. So
yeah, that what's there right now is a Zoom link, and that may be changed by tomorrow. So don't do no copy and paste in anyway yet. It might change.
yeah, when you get the new link, send to me by email or something, and I'll try and update the description of this video.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so hit like on the video, please. And it's a new channel, so help spread the word and share it with your friends. Share it on your social media about the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
All right.
And
Be
we'll
good, y'all.
see you guys for the next one. Adios.
Peace.